I have just bought a Bugatti Veyron. After a while of speaking to Mark and showing him round the Bugatti, I then explained what we've found out. Both of them have broken gearboxes, both of them have misfire.
The story began when YouTuber Mat Armstrong received an unexpected offer that most car lovers could only dream about. A repossession company contacted him about buying a Bugatti Veyron for a price far below what these famous hypercars normally cost. The Veyron is one of the most respected performance cars ever built, and even older models are usually worth well over $1 million. Because of that, the offer immediately caught Matt's attention. However, he also knew there had to be a reason why such an expensive car was being sold so cheaply. After seeing the vehicle, he noticed something surprising. The outside looked almost perfect. The paint was clean, the body panels were in great condition, and there were very few signs that the car had been through any serious damage. The interior looked just as impressive, with seats, dashboard, and controls showing very little wear. At first glance, it seemed like someone had simply parked the car and forgotten about it. Even more surprising, when Matt turned the key, the huge W16 engine started immediately, without any hesitation. The deep sound of the engine filled the workshop and gave everyone hope that the car might not have serious problems after all. But that excitement lasted only a few moments. Although the engine was running perfectly, the Bugatti refused to move. No matter what they tried, the gearbox would not engage, leaving the car completely stuck. This strange problem quickly changed what looked like an easy bargain into a difficult mystery. Instead of walking away, Matt decided to investigate the problem himself. He knew fixing a Bugatti would never be simple, but he also believed that careful work and patience could reveal the truth behind an expensive hypercar. That decision marked the beginning of one of the most interesting restoration projects ever seen on YouTube, where every new discovery challenged what many people believe about owning one of the world's most exclusive cars. After the Bugatti refused to move, many people expected the repair to cost an unbelievable amount of money. That expectation seemed to become reality when the estimated repair bill for the gearbox reached hundreds of thousands of dollars. For most owners, hearing a number like that would mean giving up immediately. A repair bill almost equal to the price of a luxury house would make anyone question whether saving the car was worth it. But Mat Armstrong has built his reputation by refusing to accept expensive answers without first finding the real cause of a problem. Instead of ordering a new gearbox or sending the car to an official service center, he started with the basics. He carefully checked the wiring, tested electrical connections, and followed each circuit one step at a time. His approach was slow, but it was based on logic rather than guesswork. After many hours of careful inspection, he finally found something that completely changed the story. The reason the gearbox would not work was not a broken transmission at all. It was a small blown fuse hidden inside the electrical system. This tiny part cost only a few dollars and could be bought from a normal automotive store. Replacing it took only a short time, and suddenly the gearbox began working again. The discovery shocked both Matt and his viewers because it showed how a very small electrical fault had been mistaken for a massive mechanical failure. It also raised questions about how expensive repairs are sometimes diagnosed on rare supercars. While nobody can say that every repair estimate is wrong, this experience showed the importance of checking simple possibilities before replacing costly parts. For Matt, finding that tiny fuse was more than just a cheap repair. It proved that patience, careful testing, and practical knowledge could sometimes solve problems that seemed impossible. The moment also gave viewers hope that even the world's most advanced cars are still machines built from thousands of individual parts, and sometimes the smallest component can stop the biggest engine. This early success encouraged Matt to continue digging deeper into Veyron, unaware that even bigger discoveries were waiting beneath its beautiful bodywork. With the gearbox working again, Mat Armstrong hoped the hardest part of the project was finally over. Unfortunately, the Bugatti Veyron had many more problems waiting to be discovered. As soon as one issue was fixed, another appeared. The engine developed a misfire that did not stay in one place, making it difficult to identify the exact cause. At the same time, coolant began leaking from the front of the car, creating another repair that needed immediate attention. Electrical problems also continued to appear without warning. Dashboard lights turned on and off, Warning messages appeared, and small faults kept slowing down the progress of the restoration. Although these problems were frustrating, Mat remained determined to solve them one by one. Like many owners of rare and expensive cars, he decided to contact Bugatti and ask for replacement parts that would help complete the repairs. However, the answer he received surprised both him and many viewers. Instead of selling him the parts directly, Bugatti followed its policy of supplying components only through its authorized service network. The company expected the entire car to be sent to an approved workshop, where trained technicians would perform the repairs. From Bugatti's point of view, this policy helps maintain safety and quality, because the Veyron is one of the most advanced cars ever built. But for independent mechanics and experienced restorers like Mat, the rule created a major obstacle. It meant they could not simply order the parts they needed and continue working. Rather than giving up, Mat decided to find another solution. He began researching every component, comparing part numbers, studying diagrams, and looking for the original manufacturers behind many Bugatti parts. This process required patience, technical knowledge, and countless hours of investigation. It also changed the project from a normal car restoration into something much bigger. Instead of only repairing a broken Veyron, Mat was beginning to uncover how the service system around one of the world's most famous hypercars actually worked. Every new part he investigated raised fresh questions, and each answer pushed him further into a story that became just as much about ownership, repair costs, and engineering as it was about fixing an extraordinary automobile. As Mat Armstrong continued taking the Bugatti Veyron apart, he came across one discovery after another that made the project even more fascinating. One of the most interesting challenges involved the car's famous top-speed key. Unlike most performance cars, the Veyron requires a special second key to unlock its highest speed mode. When this key is inserted, the car lowers its suspension, adjusts its aerodynamics, and prepares itself for speeds of more than 250 miles per hour. It is an important part of the Veyron's engineering, but replacing it through official channels can be extremely expensive. Instead of accepting that cost, Mat carefully studied how the key worked. After examining the mechanism, he realized it was not as mysterious as many people believed. Working together with a skilled automotive locksmith, he successfully created a replacement key without depending on the manufacturer. This achievement showed that careful research and practical knowledge could sometimes solve problems that seemed impossible. However, the Veyron was not finished testing his patience. More electrical faults continued to appear. At one point, the indicator stopped working because of another blown fuse. Tire pressure warnings also appeared, creating another obstacle because the car would not allow its full performance mode if every system was not operating correctly. Even after many successful repairs, unexpected problems kept slowing the project down. During a long drive to a private runway where Mat planned to test a Bugatti at high speed, the car suddenly lost power and stopped running. The team had to diagnose the problem on the roadside, suspecting that the fuel pump control module had failed. Without direct support from Bugatti's service network, they relied on their own experience and determination to continue. Every setback forced Mat to learn more about the car, making each repair more rewarding than the last. Instead of becoming frustrated and abandoning the project, he treated every new fault as another puzzle waiting to be solved. That attitude inspired millions of viewers because it showed that persistence, patience, and a willingness to keep learning can often overcome challenges that appear far too difficult at first. As the restoration continued, Mat's investigation into the car's components began revealing something even more surprising: the true origins of many of the expensive parts hidden inside one of the world's most famous hypercars. The deeper Mat Armstrong looked into Bugatti Veyron, the more surprising his discoveries became. Since buying many parts directly from Bugatti was either impossible or extremely expensive, he began researching the part numbers printed on different components throughout the car. What he found amazed both him and his audience. Many of the parts inside the Veyron were not specially made only for Bugatti. Instead, several components were shared with other vehicles built by companies within the Volkswagen Group. For example, some gearbox parts matched components used in the Volkswagen Lupo, while certain ignition coils were also found in cars like the Volkswagen Phaeton and the Bentley Continental GT. The spark plugs were standard NGK parts that anyone could purchase from independent suppliers. Even some fluids and other service items were available outside the official Bugatti network at much lower prices. This did not mean the Bugatti Veyron was an ordinary car, because designing, building, and assembling such a powerful machine required incredible engineering. However, it showed that not every part inside the vehicle was unique or impossible to replace. By carefully sourcing these components from their original manufacturers, Mat was able to complete many repairs for a small fraction of the prices quoted through official channels. His total maintenance costs were dramatically lower than the estimates he had originally received, proving that careful research could save an enormous amount of money. At the same time, these discoveries started an important discussion among car enthusiasts. Some people argue that manufacturers have every right to control repairs on highly specialized vehicles to ensure safety and quality. Others believed experienced owners and independent mechanics should have easier access to genuine parts without being forced to rely entirely on official dealerships. Mat never claimed that every repair should avoid the manufacturer, but his experience showed that knowledge can be just as valuable as money. By taking the time to understand how the car was built and where its components came from, he challenged long-held assumptions about maintaining one of the world's most expensive hypercars. His journey became more than a simple restoration project. It turned into an educational experience that encouraged thousands of viewers to look beyond famous badges and better understand the engineering hidden beneath the surface of extraordinary automobiles. As Mat Armstrong shared each stage of the Bugatti Veyron restoration on YouTube, more people began paying attention to what his project really represented. It was no longer just about repairing a broken hypercar. It had become a discussion about how modern vehicles are serviced, who has the right to repair them, and how much owners should depend on manufacturers after buying an expensive car. Many viewers were surprised to see that a vehicle costing well over $1 million could sometimes be repaired using parts that were also found in other cars from the Volkswagen Group. Others were impressed by the amount of research needed to identify those parts and make sure they were correct. Every new video encouraged viewers to ask questions about repair costs, dealership policies, and the growing challenges faced by independent mechanics. At the same time, Mat was careful to show that owning a Bugatti was still far from easy. The Veyron remained one of the most advanced production cars ever created, with a powerful W16 engine for turbochargers, complex electronics, and an all-wheel drive system that required expert knowledge to maintain properly. Even a simple service involved large amounts of oil, multiple drain plugs, special fluids, and careful attention to detail. These were not jobs that could be rushed or completed without experience. The project highlighted two important truths at the same time. First, the Bugatti Veyron truly is a masterpiece of automotive engineering that deserves respect for its incredible design and performance. Second, not every repair requires replacing expensive assemblies or relying only on official dealerships. Careful diagnosis, technical understanding, and patience can often solve problems in a much smarter way. Mat's willingness to document every success and every setback gave viewers a rare look inside a world that most people will never experience. Instead of hiding mistakes, he explained what went wrong, how he fixed it, and what he learned along the way. That honesty made the series educational as well as entertaining, attracting millions of viewers who were interested not only in supercars, but also in problem-solving, engineering, and the satisfaction of bringing an extraordinary machine back to life. One of the biggest reasons this restoration became so popular was that it showed the value of determination and creative thinking. Throughout the project, Mat Armstrong faced problems that would have convinced many people to stop. Parts were difficult to obtain. Unexpected faults appeared one after another, and every successful repair seemed to uncover another challenge waiting underneath. Yet, he continued moving forward by staying patient and thinking logically instead of giving in to frustration. Whenever a component failed, he carefully tested it before deciding it needed replacing. Whenever an expensive quote appeared, he looked for evidence to understand exactly why the repair was necessary. This method saved money, but it also revealed how important knowledge can be when working on highly complex vehicles. His audience watched him learn new skills, consult experienced specialists, and solve problems through teamwork rather than shortcuts. Along the way, he also reminded viewers that restoring a car is rarely a straight path from broken to perfect. There are setbacks, unexpected expenses, and moments when nothing seems to go according to plan. Those difficult moments made the successful repairs feel even more rewarding. The project also encouraged many people to learn more about automotive engineering, instead of simply accepting that certain cars are impossible to repair outside factory workshops. At the same time, it is important to remember that high-performance cars like the Veyron require great care because of the enormous power and speed they can produce. Professional knowledge, proper tools, and safe working practices are essential when repairing such vehicles. Matt's experience demonstrated that independent restoration is possible, but only when approached responsibly and with a deep respect for the engineering involved. His story inspired countless viewers to believe that difficult problems often have practical solutions if people are willing to study, ask questions, and keep searching until they discover the real cause instead of accepting the first expensive answer. By the time the Bugatti Veyron project reached its final stages, it had become much more than the story of a single car. It had turned into a lesson about curiosity, persistence, and the importance of understanding how machines actually work. What began as an exciting opportunity to buy a damaged hypercar at a bargain price slowly developed into one of the most talked about automotive restoration series on YouTube. Along the way, Mat Armstrong uncovered hidden repair issues, solved electrical faults, found affordable replacement parts, and demonstrated that careful investigation can sometimes achieve results that seem impossible at first. His work also started wider conversations about repair rights, manufacturer policies, and the balance between protecting advanced technology and allowing experienced owners to maintain the vehicles they legally own. Although opinions remain divided on these topics, the project encouraged people to think more deeply about how modern cars are designed, repaired, and supported after they leave the factory. Perhaps the greatest achievement was not saving money or proving that